Hello, hello. I just wanted to say my name. I'm Henrik Hjelte. I'm just scouting a little bit on the first row. Are you a developer? No. It's okay. You can use AI for doing development, like if you don't have to learn. It's okay. Are you a developer? No? No. You're a developer. Yet you are not afraid of socially awkward situations. So that's, okay. So what's your favorite programming language? Difficult to hear. Let's assume it is JavaScript. Yeah. You know Stack Overflow? You know Stack Overflow. Good. Yeah, that means you're probably not the best developer since your recursion is going bad. But Stack Overflow is a site for developers. They have like 20 million members. And every year they do a survey among professional developers, well, actually all developers, around 50,000 respondents. And among all professional developers, JavaScript is the leading programming language. 65% knows that. Solidity, how does that rate? It's on place 36. 1% of developers knows Solidity. But how about Rust? Place 14, 12%. On the second place, after JavaScript, comes something called SQL. It has 54% of developers. So maybe not all are developers here, but you have some traders and degens, and you know what 54x means. Like it's a good thing. So why am I rambling on about SQL? It's because it's the language of databases. And what Chromia does, it is combining traditional databases with blockchain. So that's why I'm talking about SQL. But now you start to look like I'm a little negative. I can feel some negativity, like, dude, why are you talking about SQL? It's like for old people. It's an old, ugly language. You're an old, bearded man. I can understand that. I agree. SQL is an old, ugly language, yes, but that's why we are making a new language for databases with blockchain security that is young and hipster. It's called RHEL. SQL as a technology is still completely dominant in the world outside of crypto, with an 85% market share. So 54x, that's a magic number. On the question if I'm old, I'm just saying that I'm not old. I'm 54 years old. Again, magic number 54. It's a good thing. And so I'm old and bearded, yes. So are some famous magicians and wizards. So let me be the Gandalf and introduce you to the magic. Starting by giving you a little pink unicorn. May your project be growing up to be a real unicorn, a large. It is pink. It has a Chromia logo, so you don't think it's polka dot. So, Chromia. Why another? I'm hinted at the solution. Right? We need another layer one because we want to have new, and this is the highlight, types of decentralized application. And then we need blockchain to be a proper database. So right now, the recommended way to work with blockchains in general, not just Ethereum, is that you store as little data as possible on chain because it's difficult and expensive. And instead you have indexing and add-on services connecting to this. And it shows in the kinds of applications that we see in the real world. It's very uncommon to have data-centric applications like social media, marketplaces that are on-chain, or on-chain games. It's often confined to having ownership on a blockchain and the rest outside of it. But that's not the vision of our industry. At least not what we want to have. We want to have decentralized application, not just ownership. So relational databases and relational architecture, it's used everywhere in the normal world for decades. As I mentioned, it has an 85% market share over NoSQL. It's used by your bank in your daily life, by your social networks. This is just a sample. Spotify, Reddit, Facebook, everyone. And so it's very ubiquitous technology. And there's a reason for that. It's based on mathematics from the 70s, relational algebra, which is very close to predicate logic. So it's hard to compete with a mathematical foundation that is sort of proven to be sound. It's a good way to structure data. You link tables together. You can search and query, index. Everything is a very efficient way. Whereas a typical blockchain is basically a key value storage. So it's a less prominent as a data storage solution, not designed for really complex queries. So what we are doing, we call a relational blockchain, combining relational database with blockchain security. Yes, it's a proper blockchain with proper security, proper replication, proper voting, consensus, etc. So it's not a feeble, and it's also a proper database. How can this scale? We'll come to that later. So about the company, we are some OGs. My co-founder, Or, who is here at TOKEN2049, he did a very first Bitcoin, user-friendly Bitcoin wallet in 2011. Our CTO, Alex, invented the Color Coins project in 2012, and that was the first token protocol where you can issue user-generated token on Bitcoin, the only blockchain at the time. I actually joined that project in 2013, got paid 1 Bitcoin an hour to do some development, but eventually, I sold it, okay, to fund the company, but I'm not unhappy. I have CHR. So 2014, we started a company. We wanted to do a stable coin for a European bank. Crazy idea, in a way, but for euro payments. We quickly understood that we can't use our protocol or Bitcoin directly. We need to index everything in a database. So we put everything in a database and sort of came up with an idea. We can use this maybe as a blockchain if we expand on a consensus. So we started to do enterprise application. We became famous for land registration, worked with financial applications, and then we came up with an idea. We can launch a public blockchain around this. So we launched Chromia, and been working on developing it for now 7 years officially, even longer, I would say. And it's now ready for release. We released this summer, and the MVP release, and we're going to release it now. A difference also with Chromia has to a lot of other architectures, it's this modular and not monolithic. So you have several like clusters. Could be one cluster can have maybe 100 blockchains, and they all link together. Also using the relational blockchain protocol. So it all connects, but still it's sort of locally efficient. And it can scale up to like thousands of blockchains, even more. So this is what we see also in economics in typical blockchain. You have a lot of transactions all in the same queue, and some pay gas fees to get ordered. They all ordered in one blockchain, right? This is typical. It's basically like going to a nightclub. You want to get in and dance, but you're standing in the queue and you're watching the pretty people pass the queue. So that's not what we want, right? In Chromia, every developer can have his own nightclub, and you can make the rules. Maybe you want to have a free entrance and make money on the drinks. So we support that because we have no gas fees. It's the developer that buys containers that is running the decentralized application, and use CHR to do that. And then how do you monetize your users? You can have it for free. You can have transaction fees if you want to. We also play well with other blockchains. So you can use this as a service. Maybe you don't have storage on your blockchain, but you can use Chromia for storage, and then you can. It's more like to the one to the right, where your client basically buys resources. Okay, so we have now a mainnet, but we want to grow out the ecosystem, and we want to talk about how to do that. First, we have gaming as a vertical. It is a very good technology for games because you can store a lot of data. You can have the logic on chain, and we actually have games that are doing that. It's very impressive. You can have NFTs. You can do a lot of complex things, and it can also scale up to support millions of players, so it can prove our scalable technology and good performance. And again, you don't have to use gas. You can monetize in different ways, so much easier onboarding. And Some of the projects that are building games here are My Neighbor Alice, Chain of Alliance, Mines of Dalarnia, Cloudborne. And I want to particularly highlight My Neighbor Alice, which is like a multiplayer game in a nice environment. And it's really impressive because it's the most advanced blockchain game out there. There is no logic. First, it's a large, complex multiplayer game with NFTs and ownership and processes. It's all done on our blockchain, on Chromia. There is no server. It's all decentralized. Very close to the vision of our industry, also with governance. So check out My Neighbor Alice. It's fantastic. Chromia is also good for normies. There are other use cases like digital collectibles. So the Bundesliga club Stuttgart is, with our partner Fanseal, engaging their own fans both to basically trade collectibles, but also to do mini games and interact with other sponsors. It's like a fan engagement platform. And who are the users? It's the football fans, like not rocket scientists. What do football fans do? They drink beer, they sing, they don't collect CryptoKitties, they have no clue what is blockchain, but they're still using this platform. So if we talk about onboarding normies and expanding on Web3, not only can we expand to 54 times the developer base, it's also about having normal people use decentralized application. I mean, also these player cards, of course, the graphic files are stored on Chromia. Chromia is very good for data. Data is popular now with AI, of course. So it's good for data-intensive apps. And not only can you store structured data, but we also have something File Hub for storing large amounts of data. You can stream 200 megabyte video files, for example. A developer showed me the other day, directly from Chromia. We have analytics. We are coming up with some inventions here for AI coming out. So here are some announcements, at least. We are launching a fund regarding just data and AI. It's going to be led by YJ, who is our business developer here in Singapore. And it gives support to new products as well as products on other blockchains that want to use Chromia as a utility layer for data and AI. And the second time, we are upgrading the Chromia mainnet to an Asgard upgrade later this year. And that will come, here's a completely new idea. So this will have Chromia extensions, which is basically not just a database, but arbitrary, or not arbitrary, but sort of modules for more complex code that can run, such as Oracle, AI inferences, data availability, and zero knowledge. So we're planning all these to roll up on a new roadmap. So this is something that expands the potential of blockchain a lot. So it's coming quite soon, I would say. I'm in particular looking at File Hub first, and then we are launching. This new roadmap is going out on our web page right now. So what's the future of Chromia? It's like the future of blockchain in a way. We want to see players, games that are completely on-chain, data on-chain, AI on-chain, and dApps that normal users actually use. So last thing is we have a little bit time, maybe show a little bit of preview of a video that we have around this. It's now going out on Twitter. So if you want to play the video, that's okay. Basically, that's for me.
Let's take a look at some of the projects already building on Chromia.
Chromia was designed as a chain for gaming, and there are good reasons for this. Several notable blockchain games are already building on Chromia, including My Neighbor Alice, Mines of Dalarnia, Chain of Alliance, and Cloudborne. Relational blockchain makes it possible to store player data, inventories, and even entire world states on-chain. In addition, our gas-free model means players can immerse themselves in the action without constant confirmations and fees. However, Chromia is more than just gaming. Another current use case is digital collectibles. In cooperation with our partners Fanseal, Chromia is being used to power a marketplace for German football club VfB Stuttgart. As this list of clubs grows, Chromia will host a number of clients and teams from across the world of sports and esports, giving fans the benefit of digital ownership in an easy-to-use, streamlined product. Relational blockchain is also being used by Chromaway's RBN Echo brand to deliver decentralized applications for digital product passports and intellectual property rights. These efforts have led to ongoing collaboration with EU's European Blockchain Services infrastructure. These examples are just the beginning. Data is the lifeblood of the digital economy, fueling the world's largest companies and applications. Our upcoming development and ecosystem initiatives will establish Chromia as a chain for data, providing a utility layer for Web 2 and Web 3 spanning multiple verticals. It's time for decentralized relational data. It's time for Chromia. It's time to build brilliant.
Thank you so much for staying and watching this repetitive video. But yeah, thank you for me, and I'm glad you didn't miss out on this historical moment on the future of blockchain. Thank you.